There you are. That was a 10-minute live dish that you could make in your house. Everything is from Field Goods. That's field-goods.com. Hey everybody, it's Ric Olando. Welcome to episode 2 of Field Goods Kitchens. Go to their website, field-goods.com. You can make this dish, you can find this recipe, and you can buy all kinds of stuff. Provisions, produce, fish, meat, dairy, all local, and you don't have to leave the house. How good is that? So today we're going to make a super restaurant quality dish. We're going to make steelhead trout from Hudson Valley fisheries right here. This is raised right in Hudson, super sustainable, very small footprint environmentally. And we're going to make a hash using these gorgeous, these are called crescent potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and apples. And we're going to make kale pesto. And stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give a list of all the farmers and the products so you can go to Field Goods website and just order them yourself, okay? Okay, so let's start out. We need to make our hash. First thing we want to do is we're going to blanch our potatoes. We want to get them cooked a bit so that our hash cooks evenly. So look, this is an oblique cut. I'm just kind of cutting them and turning them into funky chunkies. We like little funky chunkies on the potatoes. That Brussels sprout's trying to get away, but I don't want to get it. Right here, salted water into the pot. So let's talk about the oil that we're going to cook in today. I have Susquehanna Mills sunflower oil. Great high heat oil, sustainable and never GMO. I'm going to put a fair amount in the pan just so we can get some cooking going. And we're going to add some simple diced white onion to that. And that's going to begin our cooking process for our hash. You can come around here, John Luke Liz Corrado. And I'm going to show you one of my little cooking tricks. Season as you go, a little bit at a time. I'm going to call this a one-finger pinch because my thumb is not a finger. That's going to help get the flavor in the food, not on the food. And we're going to take on Brussels sprouts here. Now I got three Brussels sprouts. This is just for one portion. But see that end? You always want to remove that end. So we're going to quarter these. If they were bigger, I might cut them in 6. If they were smaller, I might cut them in half. But I think these will be nice quartered. Okay, cut that off. I'm going to gather these up in my hand and sprinkle them right into the pan. Again, another single finger pinch. And now we're going to add our apple. So I've got a nice firm Fuji apple here. Why am I adding apples to the hash? Am I doing it for sweetness? A little bit, but mainly I'm doing it for brightness, for acidity. So look, off the core, I don't have to cut the middle out. This will be the chef's treat later. I'll eat it, okay? Let's dice these guys. Get that skin out of there. I don't like to leave the skin on when I'm cooking apples because the flesh gets soft and the skin gets leathery and you have kind of a weird contrast. It's not my favorite thing. If you like it, power to you. It's your dish. Look, apples go in. So now we have onions, we have Brussels sprouts, we have apples. Again, one more little pinch of salt, tiny bit. That's kosher salt, by the way. And now we're going to hit it generously with black pepper. Black pepper is going to really help pull this all together. All right, we want to get some color on that. That's going. Our potatoes. Potatoes are just starting to get a little soft, so we're going to finish them in there. The steam that's coming off them by ladling them in is actually going to help to cook them down a bit. Again, one more little pinch of salt. All together, I probably haven't even put a half a teaspoon of salt in there. But let's let this caramelize a bit, okay? And then I'm going to show you a really cool trick to get it sticky and delicious. We're going to get our steelhead trout going. So look, I put sunflower seed oil in here again. I've got a decent little splash, not a lot, but enough. I want enough to get the skin to get crispy, okay? So look, season the fish on the flesh side, just like that. Salt and pepper. Turn it over, season the skin well, because you want nice, crispy skin. The salt does two things. It makes it taste delicious, but it also helps it keep it from sticking. Now we're going to tell when our oil's ready. I'm going to take a little piece of Brussels sprout leaf and put it in the oil. And when that starts to sizzle, I know we're looking good. Okay, take a look. See what's going on? My oil's hot. I don't want it so hot that the skin burns the minute it hits there. So look, another secret. Always put the fish away from you, not towards you, like that. We can take that out and let that cook a minute. And while that's cooking, We're going to make kale pesto. We have a lot of kale this time of year. This is kale season right up to Christmas practically. You can use lacinato. You can even use red Russian. This is great green curly kale. You can go straight into that same boiling water I did the potatoes in, and literally until it's submerged and bright green, and now we're going to take it out. Boom. See how green that is? Put this in water, let it cool down. Come over here and take a close look at our salmon. You're going to see it get browner around the edges. It's not quite there, but I'm going to take my tongs and make sure it's not sticking. Oh yeah, beautiful. Don't use a spatula, use tongs. Meanwhile, my hash is looking good. So what I'm going to do to the hash while all this cooks is I'm going to take a little bit of apple cider. Whoa, apple cider on Brussels sprouts. Super good. Going to add it to the pan. And as everything finishes, this apple cider is going to cook down. It's going to make our hash savory and sweet and sticky and delicious. You want to let it evaporate. It's going to get beautiful. Let's take a look at our skin here on our fish. Almost there. See that? Getting nice and brown. Okay, let's make our pesto. So, here's what we want to do. We're going to use a blender. I happen to like to repurpose things. I have two of these osterizers I've found in secondhand stores for like $10. And frankly, for small things at home, they're really good. So look, I want to get the water out of my kale. Going to wrap it up in this kind of fun beach towel. Squeeze it out. Good. All right. I got a little clump of kale right in there. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, before we do that, is I see that my salmon is looking really good. Watch this. Turn off the heat, turn over the fish, put it on the back, and let it just rest in the pan. The residual heat of the pan will cook that to a perfect medium without overcooking it or undercooking it. Once you've turned it over, depending on the thickness, obviously, if it's a really thick piece of salmon, you may have to cook it a bit, but a thin piece like this, just let it go. All right, kale pesto, shall we? One nice clove of garlic. We're going to put a generous pinch of salt. We're not adding any cheese to this because it's with fish. And now some oil. We're going back to the sunflower oil again because we want to get that delicious nutty flavor instead of olive oil. And what we're going to do is we're going to add to this from our good friends of Tierra Farms, sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds add such a brilliant nuttiness to everything. They're one of my favorites. A little water. You want this to be a pourable, I said pourable pesto. A couple of grinds. Now we're going to liquefy it. Look at this. Kale pesto. Beautiful. So we have kale pesto here. We have our plate. This is our potato, apple, and Brussels sprout hash. Super balanced, super delicious, super local, and super sustainable. Everything we kind of want in a meal, right? We're going to take some of this kale pesto, drizzle it around the plate like that. Beautiful. We'll serve the rest on the side. And then we're going to take our gorgeous piece of Hudson Valley Fisheries Steelhead trout, serve it right on top, just like that. And there you are. That was a 10-minute live dish that you could make in your house. Everything is from Field Goods. That's field-goods.com.